So, your uncle. What's wrong with him?
He's possessed.
As in the devil?
Something like that. He says a dark man is following him, watching him at all times.
What do you make of it?
It's nonsense, of course, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't bother me. You see, it runs in my family.
Possession?
No, Detective. Deteriorating melancholy. Practically every member of the Heartwood family is driven mad before they grow old.
But Jeremy didn't kill himself. Is that why he's at your setup?
Despite being convinced that he is truly possessed, he decided to put his last chips on Dr. Gray and his psychoanalysis, figuring he might stumble upon some cure.
You mentioned the letter.
I received a disturbing letter from Jeremy accusing the staff and all the other patients of being involved in some cult. And now they are also out to get him.
Could it be real? Or is it all just in his head?
It's a story he tells himself, Mr. Carnby. Anything to avoid the truth.
Which is?
That we're all terribly insignificant. That people mean so very little to one another. That there is no one out to get Jeremy Heartwood because he isn't worth getting.
Here we are.
My uncle's not well, Mr. Carnby. I want to make sure he's all right.
Then what's my part in this? You couldn't get a cab?
I just wouldn't feel safe going alone. Did you bring a gun?
Yeah. You think it'll actually come to that?
No. But you might need to wave it around depending on how agreeable the staff will be.
What exactly are we gonna do when we find Jeremy?
I don't know. Let's just find him first.
Hello?
It's so quiet. Where is everyone?
It's a big place. Maybe they're on the other side of the house.
Stay here. I'll have a look.
Surprised by her own reckless decision, Emily found herself breaking into Desetto. She mulled over how to present her story in case she got caught, but couldn't think of anything that sounded convincing. She wasn't much of a fast talker. Best to find a way to open the front door and let Detective Carnby inside so he can handle the situation.
What's this? This must be older than Derceto. They've built the house around it. I'll just take this.
Every day your silence weighs a little heavier. It's been a difficult year for everyone, and many have lost all hope. I read in the papers about people suffering. Pictures of dust-covered landscapes without a drop of water. I wish I knew if you were still tending the earth or if you had turned your back against us. I have started to look for help elsewhere. I pray you will tell me.
Please do not touch the boiler. It is working after all. While the sabotage has caused a...
Ah, what's this?
Sunday, June 22nd. I spent all day looking for Jeremy. I should have...
I need the key. It looks important.
The Great Depression. President Hoover raises tariffs on over 20,000 imported goods in an act to protect American labor. Following the collapse of the Wall Street stock market on October 24 last year, American industry has suffered.
I need the key.
Wait, don't.
Excuse me? Do you know where I can find Jeremy Heartwood?
Of course not.
McCarthy, what are you doing? I told you not to lose sight of the girl.
Don't you worry, Mags. I'll find that little rascal.
Who are you people? What are you doing here?
I'm sorry about all this, but I'm looking for my uncle. His name is Jeremy Heartwood.
What are you doing, child? You shouldn't be alone. Go find McCarthy.
Who are you? Are you here for the Fay Dodo?
Go upstairs now.
My name is Emily Heartwood. I'm the niece of Jeremy Heartwood. This is Detective Carnby.
The police? Why are you here?
No, I'm a private investigator. Sorry to bother you. My client's worried about her uncle. He's a patient here at Derceto. If you don't mind, could you direct us where to find him?
No, I can't. Jeremy has gone missing. If you leave your information, I will make sure to contact you.
Wait, he ran away?
No, he won't leave the house. He's around here somewhere, and both of our orderlies are looking for him.
That's unacceptable. Where's Dr. Gray? I want to speak with him immediately.
Fine, I'll ask him. Wait here and don't touch anything.
Do you want to see Jeremy's room?
Can you show us?
Follow me.
Thank you. Strange kid.
Let's look around, see what we can find.
Jeremy had gone missing. The housekeeper said the staff at Derceto was looking for him. But Emily wanted answers and demanded to speak to Dr. Gray, the man in charge. While waiting, a young girl offered to show Emily and Detective Conby inside Jeremy's room. The perfect opportunity to look for clues regarding Jeremy's...
What kind of stuff are we looking for? I've never been part of an investigation before.
Letters, diaries, receipts, all sorts of notes.
Every night the dark man stands.
Have you ever seen anything like this? Looks like a talisman.
You mean like this one?
Can you find me a knife to cut the canvas? I want to take this with me.
You want to take the painting? Sure, I'll find one. I found this tube as well. Should keep it safe for you. Do you want to carry it, or should I? Miss Heartwood? Emily?
I'll take it. Thank you.
We're done here, right?
I'm not sure. I don't know how to do any of this.
Listen, I think we should talk to Dr. Gray. He must know something about what's going on around here.
Okay. Let's do that.
Come on, I don't want to be here all night.
Detective Carnby? Where did...
Emily had never seen the French Quarter quite like this, dark and alien. The only possible refuge she could see from Jeremy's balcony was a bit of light coming from a corner store.
This can't be. Oh, what's this? I can't go that way.
Emily, is that you?
Baptiste?
How'd you get here?
I was back at Derceto. Looking for my Uncle Jeremy?
Jeremy's your uncle. I didn't know.
Why would you? You're still working at Derceto?
Yeah, both me and Lotta stuck around. We're real orderlies now. You remember my sister Lotta, don't you?
What happened, Baptiste? How are we here?
You know about the dark man haunting your uncle?
I'm familiar with his mental state.
I think we all in his head somehow. Because these streets are real, but they're not like on any map. Nah, this is like when you remember something, but in the wrong way.
Do you know how to get back to Derceto? I'm not safe here.
Truer words have yet been spoken, Mrs. Marcus.
Don't call me that. It's Miss Emily Heartwood. There's no reason to call me anything else.
I'm sorry, Miss Emily. I'm just trying to tell you like it is. This place ain't safe for no one. There's evil hiding in the dark.
How do I get back?
Only Jeremy knows how. He has this juju necklace guiding him.
You mean this talisman?
Mm-hmm. Just like it. He says it's been protecting him. Ever since he got it from Miss Jackson down the street.
You know where it came from? Have you been there?
I was there no more than 1 hour ago looking for Jeremy. Locked it up to keep the ghouls from getting inside. You can have the key if you want.
Thank you. I'll take a look.
Stay safe, miss.
Emily couldn't understand where she was, but it felt like a waking dream. Baptiste, who she vaguely remembered from her past, claimed to work as an orderly at Desetto. He was also looking for Jeremy, and seemed to imply that he was chasing him through Jeremy's own mind. Maybe this wasn't Emily's dream, but Jeremy's, and she was trapped inside somehow. Baptiste suspected that Jeremy was in some control due to a talisman that he had been given by a Miss Jackson, a name Emily recalled to be one of the many voodoo witch doctors in the French Quarter. In hope to find a way back to Desetto,
This must be Miss Jackson's place. Let's see if we can find out more about Jeremy's talisman.
Emily found this waking dream disturbingly persuasive. If this was Jeremy's world, what did that mean? Was the Heartwood family suffering a literal curse? Was the dark man, that ghoulish specter haunting Jeremy, an actual supernatural being? Emily pushed her thoughts aside and focused.
It looks exactly like Jeremy's talisman. I think it's meant to hold the talisman. I'm not sure what numbers I should use. Maybe there's something in Jeremy's notes. What's that picture in the glass? Where is that?
Good to see you again, Miss Heartwood. Mrs. Thompson told me you were here. She also alerted me that you brought a detective with you. I'm very curious to hear what this is all about. You don't remember me, do you, Miss Heartwood? We met at your family's house in the Garden District, when your uncle was about to be admitted under my care.
No, I remember. Sorry. I'm not really feeling well.
Oh, in that case, have a seat. Let me make you a drink. I don't seem to have made much of an impression on you. On the other hand, I can vividly recall you and your parents.
Because of our cheerful disposition, I'm sure.
You are far too intelligent to think that. You come from a joyless family, Miss Heartwood. The only amusement I took from my visit was discovering that the young lady's drink was an old-fashioned.
Very astute. Is that supposed to make you seem attentive or intelligent?
Whatever you prefer. Are you ready to tell me why you are here, Miss Heartwood? And why you brought a detective?
I received a letter from my uncle. He seemed certain that he was in danger here. If I find out you're treating him badly, I'll be taking him back with me to New Orleans.
Really? Is he going to live with you in your tiny garçonniere? That would be a spectacular way to ratify your spinsterhood. Because you are well aware that your father would never let him back in his house. No, I have it. Maybe you can bring him back up north. You've been wanting to move back for quite a few years, haven't you? You always preferred your mother's side of the family. Jeremy is free to leave with you. I won't object. However, there is one problem, as you might have learned. He is, in fact, missing.
Do you know where he could have gone?
No, I'm afraid I don't. I have my staff looking for him. I'm sure he will show up eventually, especially if he learns that you are here. He is quite fond of you.
What can you tell me about his condition? I never heard a proper diagnosis. What is your medical opinion of him?
Well, let me think. He is an anxious man, depressed, even. He suffers from a perceived lack of order in his inner and outer life. He constantly complains about events not presenting themselves according to their divine nature.
And the Dark Man?
Hard to tell if it was ever anything specific. Jeremy uses the Dark Man as a psychological scapegoat to avoid facing the truth that he is in any way at fault.
You don't think there can be any truth to the Dark Man's supernatural existence?
Why would you ask that?
Can we ever be sure?
If the Dark Man is some sort of evil presence that is in possession of Jeremy?
Well,
I assure you, any evidence that you experience supporting that claim is purely delusional. Don't get caught up in mass hysteria, Miss Heartwood. You wouldn't want to take your uncle's place in this hospital, would you?
I'll be leaving now, Doctor. I need to keep looking for my uncle.
Do so, Miss Heartwood. I'll let you know if he shows up.
Detective Carnby! God, I'm glad to see you. I was afraid you had left.
Me? You're the one who just disappeared.
It's hard to explain. I think I blacked out. It was like I went somewhere else.
It's okay, miss. You're clearly upset.
No, I don't know what's happening.
This is a very stressful situation for you, I understand.
Ugh, no, you don't understand.
Just take a deep breath. Why don't you sit down, smoke some of the Perique? If you want, I could even drive you back to New Orleans. I just want to have a talk with Dr. Gray first.
I want to stay. I found a talisman just like the one in the painting. I think I might be able to figure out where Tarawea is, where Jeremy wanted to go.
That's great. Just stay out of trouble, okay? Let me handle the investigation.
I'm not crazy, Detective. Not yet.
Okay, catch you later.
Despite making a fool of herself in front of Dr. Gray and Detective Carnby, Emily felt surprisingly invigorated. She felt absolutely sure that it was her manipulation of the talisman that had brought her back to Derceto. Jeremy mentioned 2 items in his commonplace book that somehow connected him to 2 more dreams, or whatever they should be called. If Jeremy had 2 more worlds open to him, then maybe he would hide there if he was scared. Or maybe he found a way to Tarawea, the place Jeremy so desperately wanted to visit, excited to follow up.
If a talisman like this can open up doors between the French Quarter and Derceto, then maybe Jeremy is hiding in some strange other world, like Tarawea, the place he mentioned in the book. No matter where he is, it's clear that my search won't be limited to Derceto.
Saw your notice in the boiler room. You should know Mr. Chance.
Dr. Elmore Lee Gray is Derceto's chief doctor.
Paul, you're right about the plates on the boiler and the clock. They have been sabotaged, and I think I know who did it.
Looks sturdy. Doubt I'll be opening this. Oh wow, I can't believe I guessed the combination. I must be some kind of genius. Interesting. It's all the patient files except for Jeremy's. I need the key. What's that stain? Looks like some kind of rot. This must be the clock mentioned. This looks like the thing that held the talisman in the French Quarter, but it's broken and missing some pieces. Jeremy's room. All back to normal.
Emily's here.
What a strange but beautiful room. There's some aggressive-looking rot on these paintings.
Will I need to remember how to get them out again? They are locked.
Are these zodiac signs? Here we go. Everything's back to normal. I need the key. I need the key.
Good evening, Miss Heartwood. That is your name, isn't it? I would be terribly embarrassed if it wasn't.
You're right. Emily Heartwood, Jeremy's niece. Nice to meet you.
Ruth Talon. Is that Perique you're smoking? How terribly quaint.
Maybe so, but I like it.
Would you care to share some? That smell is making me feel very nostalgic.
Is it all that you hope for?
I enjoy your light mockery, Miss Heartwood. I can tell we would make great friends.
How flattering. Too bad you're locked up in this place.
Your insincerity is really refreshing. I wish you were mad as I am. Then you could stay.
Give it a few years and I might just be. Lunacy is one of my family's few privileges.
Oh, good. I'll be looking forward to it.
You don't know anything about what happened to Jeremy, do you?
Everyone here is really strange, and it's hard to know what to make of anything you hear. Occasionally, it sounds quite exciting, though. Good versus evil and all that. I'm sorry, but I don't think I have anything useful to share.
It doesn't matter. Thank you for the much-needed break.
Bon voyage.
Emily felt surprised by how much she enjoyed the company of Ruth. There was something familiar and friendly about her, like they were old friends that's...
Lost Plantations of Louisiana, Thierry Briclot, 1917. Derceto was a small plantation on the eastern shore of Lake Pontchartrain. The land was considered difficult for industry and was sold for only $30 to Elijah Pickford in 1818. Pickford employed hundreds of workers from nearby New Orleans to clear the woods and build a small plantation mansion facing the lake with a striking Greek Revival temple facade. Derceto kept it.
Now this'll come in handy. It's wet shut. I don't understand what's happening.
Misaki nante mwen, Mumpa misaki nante mwen, Men le anjeni man yo deshena. What are you doing sneaking around? You almost scared me to death.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disturb your ritual. I wouldn't have guessed voodoo was in practice at a place like this.
The doctor may be all about science, but I know these roots have power.
Do you know what's going on here? I have a feeling Derceto is cursed.
There are several players with stakes in this game. Derceto isn't cursed or blessed. It's a battleground. And it would all be a lot better if you could get your uncle out. Sooner than later.
That's all I'm trying to do.
I wish you the best of luck, Miss Heartwood. I really mean that. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to look after my gumbo.
The housekeeper buried something in the flower patch beneath one of Dr. Gray's windows. She was singing in some Creole language, performing a peculiar bourgeois voodoo ritual. Certainly not an unfamiliar sight in the French Quarter, but voodoo had never felt this bitter to Emily.
What's that? It's another piece of broken plate. It worked. Ah, what's this? There we go. I think I've seen this somewhere. There was something in the commonplace book about this. Did it break? The clock just stopped. showing me something. That's just the hallway outside Jeremy's room, isn't it?
Emily deserved a sense of triumph, but she was too on edge to appreciate her success. There was no reasonable explanation why the talisman let her open up this other world. Was this really happening? Or was this somehow all in her mind? There was no time to question.
I did it. I opened up another dream.
May 1923, Monday. All okay, ready for delivery. Maintenance. Oil pump must be serviced. Any tampering causes large spills unless properly forestalled. Tuesday. Shipment delayed but delivered. Maintenance.